What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to the CHGO Bulls podcast, presented to you by PointsBet. Don't forget that promo code CHGO when signing up your PointsBet account to live your bet life. Woo! What's going on, everybody? I'm Peck, hanging out here at our West Loop Studios downtown Chicago. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. Big Dave is at BalBAWL Sports. Back home where he belongs is Will the Go Gottlieb. He's on Twitter at Won't Gottlieb.
I'm back.
He is back. It feels so good. Feels so good. Oh, thank you, Joey, for the goat sound effects. Our producer and our pal Joey hanging out with us here as well.
Oh, let me get some of that Brazil on me, man. What's going on, sir?
I'm shedding it.
Give it to me. Give me some of that.
And
It's
Big
good to be
Dave.
back, minus the insane heat we're dealing with right now.
It's hot.
Dave's got his little portable air conditioner.
Yes,
I'm
I
trying
do.
I'm trying to get
Which
in
spilled all over me, by the way.
I turned it like this on Matt, like it was a lantern or something like that, and it said, you're not supposed to do that with things that have water in it. And I learned my lesson.
Are you the one who keeps putting paper towels like in the chairs? You are
No.
now
Paper towels in the
prime
chair.
suspect.
What?
Me and Lawrence have been.
Who would put paper towels in chairs?
Not sure.
No, I just brought him those because I spilled water.
Someone
on
is
them. So I literally just
stuffing
brought him
paper
those.
towels.
In the set chairs or the?
No, in the set chairs.
Yeah, no,
Like-
that's definitely not me.
Really kind
Stuffing
of
paper
gross.
Definitely not
towels?
me.
Like multiple paper towels?
Well, it's happened twice now, and I see Peck over there.
He
Interesting.
seriously just brought me
Literally
these 5
just
minutes ago
looks
pretty
because he
comfortable
poured
with
water
those.
on my seat cushion.
Your hand
That's
is
it.
literally in the cookie jar right now.
I did hand him the murder weapon. Like, here you go.
You got him
I don't know
red-handed.
who did it. I don't know who did it. Like, they're going to blame you for it, man.
You know what? If I suddenly get blamed for something I did not do,
it's never in that-
because Big Dave, who's been so obsessed with this little mini AC unit for the
Yeah.
last week,
Yeah.
Pull it out, Big Dave. Pull
has
out the air
a faulty
conditioning.
AC unit that spilled all over me.
it's not faulty.
I refuse to take the fault for this.
You're right. It's actually never in that chair, which is your
my
permanent
chair.
chair.
Which chair
so
is
it's
it
not-
in?
Wait, Big Dave, pull up there the AC.
Pull up, they said. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
going to say digging.
Show them the fans.
It's
So, yeah,
it's
there
dripping.
it is.
Ooh, look
You
at
can
that.
see the cool air
you can
coming
see
out.
that.
You
Cool
can
air.
see the
Yes.
mist coming through.
Feel
Spilled
that.
on you,
It feels
yes.
very nice
Just don't shake it. What I've just learned dealing with my man Matt over here.
because it is not a. Woo! Yes, it feels so nice. It's just not leak proof.
It's not leak.
If you turn it on its side.
Yes, can't do that. I've learned that the hard way. This is how we learn, kids, by doing.
Big Dave, did you notice the other super Brazil thing that Will brought back to the studio with him?
No, I didn't.
He's rocking the Berks, baby!
That's not a Brazil.
This is
Berks!
That is Chicago.
this is
I just feel like you embraced the,
we're the
you know,
Birkin
the
boys.
The Birkin Boys. Oh, I like that. I like that. I do. I enjoy
The-
that.
the free spirit
I need a graphic.
lifestyle.
Joey, graphic.
Birkin
Birkin
boys.
Birch
Boys
Boys?
graphic. Yup. Birkin Boys
He's
graphic.
working on it.
It's like the Hardy Boys, except instead of solving crimes, we
chill
just
out
sit
in our
around
sandals.
in our backyards,
It's all
not doing
Bulls.
anything.
Try to solve the Bulls front office issues or free
Right.
agency issues.
That is
I should say.
actually exactly what I
Right,
spend my
yeah.
time doing.
yes.
Maybe
Exactly
maybe
what
while
I do with
grilling.
my days.
Yeah, well,
Which,
Of course
speaking
I'm
of which,
grilling.
have you looked in the fridge here at the office?
I haven't. No.
Earlier today, before you got here, Jake received our meat delivery for our tailgate party tomorrow.
Oh snap!
There's so much meat in that
Oh
fridge.
my god!
Yeah.
What vegan options are in there?
I'm guessing none. Vegans aren't welcome at
Oh, don't
tailgate
worry.
slash
I'm bringing my
barbecues.
own. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be ready.
Bring your kale chips to the tailgate like a loser.
I'm gonna be ready. Y'all gonna hate everything I bring. Well, Matt is gonna hate everything I bring. I should say that differently.
Right.
I'll support you.
Thank you very much, Will. This is why it's good to have you
I
back.
have love for everyone.
Yes. It's not hard. It's not hard, Matt.
Yeah, but you know what is also fun? Having hate for some things.
Some.
Matt stays on brand.
But there's going to be lots of love flowing around at our tailgate party for the White Sox game against
my
the Blue
God.
Jays tomorrow.
Yes.
We're starting at 11:30 in Lot B. Even if you didn't get the ticket package for hanging out on our tailgate and then also a game ticket because those have sold out,
Yes.
shout out to everybody who's got tickets.
Shout out.
Still come by, Lot B, say hi. We're going to be hanging out there with the
Yes.
Sox crew and with a whole bunch of our other CHGO family members.
It
So
shall be fun.
should be a fun time. All right, guys, we are going to get into our individual Bulls draft big boards on today's episode. We are 2 days away from the NBA draft. But simultaneous to the draft hype getting bigger and bigger, there's also all kinds of rumors going around about trades and massive trades that might happen on draft night on
We
Thursday.
love trades.
Yes.
Love trades.
Love
Will.
trades.
We
Love rumors.
love
Love gossip.
trades.
Yes.
So we're
He's
gonna.
right.
I love it.
He told no lie. It's all fact.
So you know what? Let's start with the latest on Rudy Gobert, because we've been talking in some recent episodes about how this Rudy Gobert to the Bulls thing refuses to go away, and if anything is actually gaining momentum.
Yes.
So Mark Stein was talking about it on a recent, I think, like a Spotify show that he was doing.
Shout out.
And was saying if Gobert gets moved, it's looking more and more like that's going to be Chicago that he gets moved to. He added to that in one of his Mark Stein columns on Substack this morning with this update, saying, I must note that I was strongly advised after that Spotify chat that the Bulls have ongoing reservations about pursuing a Gobert deal, and that Toronto remains a team to watch if the Jazz indeed trade away the league's foremost interior defensive anchor.
Toronto.
So, Will, when you got here to the office a little bit ago and I mentioned that to you, your immediate response was the reservations is still whether or not AK and Eversley want to include Patrick Williams in such a deal, right?
That's my guess. I would say it's a huge move. It's emptying the clip. It is expending every asset that the team has, right? Like, you're giving up your young players. You're giving up your remaining draft pick. You're giving up an all-star center that you gave up 2 draft picks and Wendell Carter for. It's like going full out to get this guy, and I can see why there would be some reservations there. But, yeah, as we've talked about in the past, like, to me, it's just kind of one of those deals that you kind of have to make. You have roster issues that you've got to work through regardless, so take a swing. You got the window. I don't know. I go back and forth.
He does.
Are you going back and forth too,
I
Dave?
can't make up my mind.
I think I'm still stuck on the fact that I don't think he's the guy. And I think that's what I'm stuck on. But it's like, if it happens, I'm going to be like, well, okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's Rudy Gobert. Like, all right, let's do stuff. But I think
it won't
that's
be
just
hard
all
to
it
talk
is.
yourself into it if it happens.
Yeah, correct. Yes, great point. It won't be hard to talk me into it. But, I mean, dude, he's so good. You know what I'm saying? At what he does defensively. And you see the immediate impact he is going to have on his team. And you know how much better it will make them. He answers so many questions on one side of the ball for the Chicago Bulls. It's just that other side of the ball that's going to be an issue. We know that Lonzo can help him score. We know he can get offensive rebounds and score that way and hit a couple of free throws. Not a great free throw shooter, but he'll hit a couple because he's going to get fouled when he goes to the line. But it's the fourth quarter, 5 minutes left. Can he be on the floor? You know what I mean? Quite kind of question for me. And with a guy you're paying $40 million to, and that's a question. And that's what kind of holds me back a little bit.
Let me put it to you this way. Who are the top teams in the East that you got to go through?
Miami, Celtics, Philly, and what was the last one? Milwaukee, all the big dudes, yes.
You got Giannis, you got Embiid,
Yep.
you've got, Robert Williams and Al Horford and Jason Tatum. You've got Bam Adebayo. Like, the East still has big guys. They're gonna play. I think he'll be okay in the final minutes. We're gonna have so much time to like dive into every single detail of this.
Yeah.
And I still haven't really wrapped my mind around it because we don't need to at this point. But
Yeah.
I do think it could work out.
It could.
It could
work out. Yes.
The
it could
thing
work
that's
out.
making me okay when I think about it as a reality, if it happens on Thursday night or sometime before this next season, we've got Rudy Gobert in a Bulls uniform, it's that it will be a further commitment to this new front office doing things the complete opposite way as the previous front office who they took over for, in that the previous front office had a tendency to grossly overvalue their, what they had, the pieces that they had, especially if they were young prospect pieces.
Right.
And a lot of those pieces not amounting to anything.
True.
If you're going to cash in another one of your chips, that being a young Patrick Williams, because you believe that adding Gobert's elite level interior defense to this core you have gets you from where you just are, 6th seed, to actually competing with the bigs at the top of the East, making a deep playoff run, maybe making a finals run. Isn't that why you're here?
That's why you're here. No, you're right.
One just thing I want to point out about that, because you said draft night, and I think that's a good point that we haven't really hit on yet, which is that the Bulls can't legally trade their draft pick until draft night. Effectively, they would be picking for the Jazz if they decide to move it in that deal. So we won't hear anything until at least Thursday night, maybe even after that, and it certainly won't be processed until then. But just a note, like this is not going to happen while we're recording the podcast.
Let me ask you, is there someone, and you might not know this, but I'm going to ask you anyway, but is there
Please.
someone that if you see the Bulls take, it immediately triggers, oh my God, they're going to be trading this pick?
In the draft?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so, just because right now I feel like they could go so many different directions, and we'll get into our big boards here in a second, and I think mine is kind of reflective of that. There's players from every position, there's talent, there's fit, like they just kind of need a little bit of everything. And so if they take a guy like Walker Kessler, maybe that signifies that the Jazz want a backup center to replace Rudy Gobert. Maybe it signifies that the Bulls want a backup center to replace or to come in off the bench behind Vucevic
And be not Tony Bradley.
Yeah, I mean, so
It's not hard.
I could see kind of any pick going either way.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not sure yet.
All right,
is
fair
the
enough.
is the sidestep answer to that?
So many question marks. Meanwhile, two other interesting pieces of news between when we dropped a podcast for you guys yesterday afternoon and now. Two names that I think Bulls fans would be very interested in have officially opted out of their player options for next season and are going to hit the free agent market.
Okay.
One of them, and this was via Adrian Wojnarowski earlier today,
Whoa.
is Clippers forward Nick Batum, who's declining his $3.3 million player option to become a free agent. Woj reported that there is expected to be mutual interest with the Clippers and Batum reaching a new deal once free agency hits in July.
Okay.
And then Shams reported today PJ Tucker is opting out of his $7.4 million player option
No.
to enter free agency.
Is he coaching,
Several
though?
championship contending teams are expected to be competing for Tucker, who was a key part of that Bucks title run in 2021.
The Heat culture?
Guys, I've, had like a little mini crush on Nick Batum for a long time.
Have you really?
Yeah, he's for sure on my Bulls Crushers squad.
Interesting.
If
Okay.
you're drafting a team of guys who just annihilate the Bulls anytime they play them,
That's true. He gets
Batum is
down.
100% on that roster.
That's true.
And PJ Tucker, grizzled vet, huge piece of that Bucks chip.
Yeah.
And then jumped ship and went to Miami and was a big piece of that Miami team this season.
He was.
If the Bulls could somehow steal either of those guys in free agency, if they don't return to their current teams, you have a preference strongly on either one?
Oh, I do. PJ Tucker. I'm more PJ Tucker than I've been Batum. Batum is a guy who I always saw get all the money, but I never saw it reflected totally all the time in his game. Because whether it was injury or whatever, but he would have those games, like you said, where you watch him just be a killer. You know what I'm saying? An absolute monster on the floor. And then he would just disappear. You wouldn't see him again. He done that a lot for the Clippers, quite a few times. But he's a good player. He plays the defense, has the length, can shoot, all that good stuff. But for me, PJ Tucker is what I love, Matt. He's a goon. He's a straight up and down goon. Your team is identified immediately. Your identity is set once you get PJ Tucker on the squad. You know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Who you are and who you're supposed to be once he's there. And that corner three, my God. You know what I mean? It's going to be so open, especially playing with Lonzo and DeMar.
Right.
And we talked about how DeMar plays, where it's better for him to have shooters around him. You know what I'm saying? Set.
Yeah.
So when he makes the move to the paint, he can kick it out. PJ Tucker all day long. And hell, you can even steal him at center, all right? The dude is that ridiculous. You can
Are
put
you
him at center.
suggesting
And
small ball
the
center?
small ball! The Will the Thrill small
Have
ball.
I converted you?
Yeah, Will. Yes, you have. You've converted me to small ball, sir. You have. Anytime I see anybody that isn't a guard, immediately as a forward, I'm like, can you cheat with him at
no,
the five?
he's a center.
Yeah, you might be
He's
able
a
to
center.
cheat. Might be able to cheat. But yeah, PJ Tucker is my guy.
Dudes who can hit corner threes, definitely on the Bulls need list.
Yes, hard. And guys who won't get carried out the club, PJ Tucker. You ain't picking up PJ Tucker and carrying him nowhere.
Nah, dude, I'm pretty sure he weighs like 400 pounds.
Right,
And I'm not
right.
calling him fat. I mean, like, he is just thick.
Yeah, he is.
He'd fit right
He's
in.
what now?
Thick.
Yes.
I would love either of those guys. I think it sounds right that Batum will be back with the Clippers.
Yeah.
They've got his early bird right, so they can offer him a little bit more money. But they are a tax team, so they don't have the full mid-level exception, which the Bulls do have. So they could offer either one of those guys like $10.3 million, which would be an upgrade for both. I think PJ's, that's probably like what PJ's in the market for, right? Because the teams, as we've mentioned with cap space, are Spurs, Magic, Pistons. He's not going to any of those three teams.
Right.
So there are some teams in the Bulls range who are not tax teams that could offer him that. but he could also take less and go to a Bucks or stay with Heat or whatever it may be. So I could see either of them coming to the Bulls. I do think Batum has a little bit more versatility in terms of passing and putting pressure on the defense,
That's
but
true.
PJ's definitely got the corner 3 sniper action. But Batum's a good shooter too, so I'd be super pumped with either of those guys. They really fill a need, and I mean, just give me somebody who's like 6'6", 6'7", who can shoot the ball and play some defense. They need that.
They need all of that. You're
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I would happily welcome either of these guys. And again, a lot of this depends on assuming that Zach signs a new deal, and then if they do actually do something big, like a big swing, like getting Rudy,
That's what we laugh.
the amount that you have left to spend and the contract, the kinds of contracts that you have left to offer guys could make Tucker in particular harder. As somebody in the comments just pointed out, PJ Tucker would probably take up most, if not all, of your mid-level exception.
Right.
Whereas you might be able to get Batum for a little bit cheaper, but like you said, Will, the Clippers probably have the upper hand on bringing
Warriors,
him back.
and they just don't care about money.
Don't care about money.
So they're
As
gonna
opposed
give
to
him
the Chicago Bulls, who tend to care about money sometimes.
Yeah, they said they pay. They say they pay. That's what they said, man.
Waiting on it.
Hey,
Dude, I'm popping.
Show it to 'em.
I'm popping a bottle of something when we get actual physical proof, contracts signed that the Bulls are going into luxury tax. I'm going to open a nice bottle of something
Wow.
to celebrate that.
It's a small victories.
It
It's a
is.
huge victory. Are you kidding me? This organization going into the luxury tax? I've just been waiting forever for them to spend money to put a quality basketball team on the court.
Oh, man.
Bought the team for chump change in the mid-'80s. Now it's worth close to $4 billion. Oh, I can't pay that luxury tax.
I just kind of noticed we're almost matching again.
Are we?
Yeah, you got the blue on with the colorful hat,
I do.
and I got the colorful stuff on too. How does this happen all the time? This is weird.
We don't coordinate, I swear.
We don't think of these things. It
We
just
don't call
happens.
each other up like
Where are
friends
your
in middle
Birkenstocks?
school.
Yeah,
Like,
but I'm not.
what
I'm
are you
not
wearing
part of
today?
the, I'm
Well,
part
yeah.
of the Birkin boys, though.
Will and I are also
Where are your
matching today,
Birkenstocks?
sir.
Hey, man, I can't give them everything, Will. You know what I'm saying? I can't give them all of it. You know what I mean?
Burks boys.
Burke's boys.
Burke Brothers. Hold on. Give me 1 second here.
Burke brother, he's working on something. Okay, Joe working on something. He's mad scientist over there working on something, man. This is something that's
His
going
hair is
happen.
exploding. He's
Right,
got
right.
like smoke coming out of either side of the computer.
He's like, like
None of
yeah.
that is true for those listening.
I like how you had to make that announcement. Will's got smoke coming out of his ears.
See,
News at 11.
See, guys, Hayes is with me in the comments. He said if the Bulls go into luxury tax and finally act like a big market team, I'm definitely popping a bottle of, what does that say, Clase Azul?
I say Azul. Okay, that's a flex
Is that,
right there.
is that tequila?
That's a flex.
Very
Sounds
nice
like
tequila.
tequila.
You know the big white porcelain bottle with like the blue.
Oh,
trim?
yeah.
Very nice.
Are you
nice
21
bottle.
yet?
20. Shut up.
That was a low blow. Sorry about that.
For the record, we do not support underage drinking here on the CHGO Bulls podcast. Oh, my goodness. Joey
How do you
everybody.
do that? How do you do it so quickly?
Oh, my God. He is a magician.
You are magic. El Mago.
That is brilliant.
I'm gonna send that one to Big Dave after.
Oh,
so
please.
He, so he
That's
has
going
it.
everywhere,
God.
man. Oh, my God. That is amazing. Oh, the Burke brothers in effect.
Turn it
Man.
into a t-shirt.
Yes. Everything's a T-shirt. That should be a T-shirt. Everything's a
t-shirt.
T-shirt.
That's a t-shirt.
That's a T-shirt, y'all.
Yeah. Speaking of which, check out the CHGO locker because there's some fresh new shirts that just dropped yesterday in there. We got a new Skyline shirt.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Look at that.
love the
And then
beam.
new White Sox
Yeah, the-
and new Cubs
beam.
shirts.
Dang it. I love when you're in my brain. That's exactly what I was thinking. It stands out.
Well, while we're promoting the CHGO locker
Southside
upgrade, we
bias
might as well
hard.
take our ad break here before we get to our big board. So,
All right.
today's episode brought to you guys by PointsBet. The best way to support CHGO is to download that PointsBet app and use promo code CHGO when you sign up. If you do that right now, you're going to get those 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000 that we've been telling you about. It's a no-brainer of a perk. But that's not it. If you make a $50 more first-time deposit, you'll receive a free, that's right, free membership to CHGO, which unlocks all of our amazing exclusive web content, like all of Will's amazing draft coverage that he's been doing.
Yeah.
You'll even get a free shirt of your choice from the CHGO locker, which now has even more options.
Yes.
As of yesterday, fresh merch, dope merch.
Dope merch.
Don't merch.
Also, it's your home for live in-play betting, which just got even better. If you see a hedge on a game that you're watching, if your favorite team is priming for a comeback, don't just watch the game. Bet along with the game live. More live betting, more live markets, and faster live cash outs. Follow along with your bets the moment they hit and stay in the live action all game long. Plus, online sign-up available in Illinois. Don't forget that promo code CHGO when you sign up, folks. What are you waiting for? Once the game starts, don't just bet. Big Dave.
You live your bet life.
Woo!
Oh!
Do it! Just do it!
All right,
See, I didn't want to put too much pressure on Will in his first show
he's
back in
different
the
for me. He
studio.
a shooter.
It's culture shock, you know? It's like
Right.
there's a language barrier
You've gotten
no.
used to doing that Live Your Bet Life line from abroad. I wanted to give you a
I'm
little
working
time
my
to
way back in.
reintegrate.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of point guard. You would have got the ball. You open, you getting the ball. That's how that worked. And it's going in. I trust him.
Also, real quick, my points bet pick of the week, because it is Tuesday. You can do over-under bets on where guys are going to get drafted on Thursday night on PointsBet.
Okay.
And that's like one of a bunch of different ways that you can bet on what happens on draft night.
That's
It's
actually
really
pretty
cool.
fun. Yeah, that is.
I'm going Tari Eason getting
Okay.
taken 17th or sooner.
Ooh,
Under
don't say
seven-
that. Yes, don't
Under
say that.
17 and a half, because he's probably going to be on all of our big boards that we're about to talk about.
Maybe.
And if he gets taken before 18, maybe make yourself a little less sad by making some money on that. I just people have been talking about him maybe
emotional
slipping.
hedge never fails.
That's
Never
my
fails,
kind of
man.
thing.
Never fails. There you go. And it's minus 110 on the odds, by the way.
Okay.
For Tari Eason to go before pick 18.
Sound like a plan, man.
All right. So you guys want to do our big boards?
I think I do.
We are a little over 48 hours away from the NBA
It's
draft.
so soon. I'm so excited.
We'll
It's
so
crazy.
happy.
It's
Which
crazy
makes me
that it's
happy.
arrived.
I'm so happy, man. Let's do this. Big board time, baby. Oh, there it is. Put it on the big
All
board.
right. So
Slam
we're going
it
to
on
talk
it.
through these one at a time.
Sure.
There probably will be some overlaps.
Sure.
So who wants to go first? Will, the GOAT, you're in the middle? You want to go first?
Stuck in the middle
Sure.
with you.
Can you throw it up there, Joey? I don't even know who I chose.
I don't know who you chose.
All right. Let's start. Are we starting number 1 or number 5?
Number
Let's start
five.
number 5.
Let's go number 5. I'm going to go with my man from Notre Dame, Blake Wesley.
Blake
Ooh.
Wesley.
Guard,
Okay.
ferocious defender,
Nice word.
very athletic.
Okay.
I mean, he's just so much fun to watch, and I think he's got some very high upside as a ball handler, playmaker, shooter. His numbers were really bad, but he looks like he's got it. The touch is there, and I think if you put him in a situation where he can slowly develop from sort of like athletic, defensive bench guard into potentially getting some more on-ball reps, I think he could be a really good player. He's mocked around mid-20s to, where the Bulls are, roughly. And so I think he's in that range. He's for sure an upside swing. It would be more of a talent play than a fit play. But I like him a lot. I think he's going to be really good. And I think he does a lot of stuff that the Bulls don't have, which is just like super aggressive intensity, shot creation off the bench. I think he's going to be really good.
Okay. All right. I like that. It's a grown man pick right there. Is what that is.
I think he could be a value pick in this draft.
Okay.
In that if he is a guy that, falls into the late teens, early 20s, you could probably feel good about the value you're getting. So if, obviously because he's number 5 on your big board, you're not saying, hey, you're hoping that Blake Wesley in particular is there at 18, but there are probably some guys you would rather see still be on the board at 18.
Right.
Exactly.
But not a bad consolation prize at 18.
Okay.
Yeah, if he's there and the Bulls take him, I will be pleased. I think he provides you, obviously, as I said, with the defense, but I think he's got a lot of offensive shot creation. I think he's going to be able to handle the ball in pick and roll. And I think he's just going to find ways to score. He's got really creative passing instincts. Like I said, he can shoot it, although the percentages were really bad. He had a really tough stretch towards the end of the season that dragged him down even further. But I think he is going to be a very fun, exciting, athletic, dynamic player, and somebody that, obviously you have Caruso and Lonzo back there, but he's kind of another element of that I just don't, I think you cannot have too much of.
What's the one thing that he possesses that you think he can come in and contribute immediately? Like, as you mentioned, the shot creation, you mentioned the ferocious defense and things like. What's the one thing he can hone in on specifically and come in and contribute?
It's definitely going to be the defense.
Okay.
I think he is going to be sort of an attack dog on the point of attack. And I think he's going to be a really good off-ball defender as well. Like, he jumps passing lanes, he tips passes away. He's got super long arms, so he can tap the ball away from live dribblers. He had a 2.6 steal rate in college, which is super high.
That's high, yeah.
I think he's going to come in and be a good defender from day one. A little erratic. They'll probably have to rein him in a little bit, as is true with a lot of these young guys. And then, I don't think he's going to be a sit in the corner and be a spot up guy. He can kind of play next to Io or Caruso or Alonzo. I think he kind of fits in that sense, but he's also 6'4", 6'5", another smaller guard with a 6'9" wingspan. So a little bit longer, but definitely shorter and kind of the size guy that the Bulls have a lot of. And I know we all kind of want somebody in the 6'7", 6'8" range.
Yeah.
So he's not that, but he is 19 years old. I think he's got a ton of potential and just a really exciting player with a lot of upside.
So Debo, the Black Panther, in the comments asking, don't we kind of already have that in Io? Is that a player comp that you think is fair?
I don't think they play very similarly. I think Blake puts a little bit more pressure on the defense. Io, I think, really impressed me in terms of his ability to just manage pick and rolls and drop pocket passes off. But I don't see him as really a create your own shot threat at a super high level. I think Blake Wesley has a little bit more upside there. But again, he's not the perfect fit. I think it's more of an upside play, and he's definitely going to be more of a project. So this would be a little bit more patient. Hopefully he can give you some reps next year. But again, this is not fit draft for fit. This is if you think this guy is the best player available, you take a swing on him.
Got you.
Shot 40% from the field and 30% from behind the three-point line.
Really bad percentages.
Concern about his shot coming into form at the NBA level?
Yeah, I think it'll take some time. It looks good. A lot of self-created step-back threes. He has some shake, and he gets downhill quite a bit. I think the touch is there, and that gives me hope. But certainly you would love to see some higher percentages. It reminds you of a Jaden Hardy in the sense that his he has some shot creation, but the percentages are really bad. But I think in this case, it's less Hardy is very specifically offense, and it's not just offense, it's just scoring.
Right.
This guy's a defensive player with a ton of offensive upside. That's the way I kind of look at it.
Okay. Wow.
I'm not going to say the name. Bulls fans go crazy. Oh, a great defensive player with offensive upside, you say?
Say it.
Also, just a personal bias. I don't like
Notre Dame.
I don't like drafting guys from Notre Dame. I hate Notre Dame. Notre Dame can go to hell.
So much hate. Even though I agree with him, I'm with
yeah.
him. But
you.
So much hate though.
Yeah,
so much hate.
Don't chastise me.
This is
for my
why you
Notre
guys
Dame
aren't in
hate.
charge.
Can't let children be in charge.
Could be
of
the
things.
best prospect in the history of the NBA
It's also
draft.
probably
And if
why-
they're from Iowa State, I'm like, get out of my face.
Matt, he averaged 45 a game.
I don't care.
Don't matter.
Can't take him.
Hate him.
Can't take him.
Get Tyrese Halliburton out of here, man. He stinks.
Dude. And I seriously, when he was coming into that year's draft class, I was like, oh my God, I love Halliburton. And I
did.
hate that
He
I
did.
love him.
Yeah,
Because
I
he's a
remember.
freaking Iowa State guy.
He said that often on the show. He said
It
that
happens.
often.
It
All
happens.
right.
We're
Number
just
4,
humans.
Will. Who you got?
Oh, we're doing all me?
Yeah, remember we're going all 5 for
Okay.
everybody.
All right. Let me pull up my list here again. Number 4, I've got EJ Liddell.
Oh! Oh!
All right. Well, there's
Oh!
A little bit lower on my list. I know you guys probably have him higher.
What? No.
I like EJ a lot. I think he's going to be really solid. But I don't know. He's just kind of I'm fading on him a little bit.
you're bored by him.
I'm bored by him. And that's super unfair.
I mean, and also he totally fits the mold of players in the NBA draft that Bulls fans have been bored by in the past. A multi-year college player from the Big Ten.
Yeah.
True.
Bulls fans hate
True.
when this team drafts players like that.
That's true.
Who
That's
kind of
true.
just does one thing on both sides of the ball. He he fits a role for sure.
Yeah.
And I think he's good. Like, it would not be a bad pick.
Yeah.
I would not be up in arms by any means. I'd be excited about it.
Yeah.
But I just think he's less of an upside swing. And I think the Bulls are still in a situation where they need upside in talent. And like I said, I think he's going to be good. I think he fits next to Vooch perfectly. But as I mentioned when we did the deep dive on him, the shot is concerning to me. I know I'm here talking about Blake Wesley, who shot like 14%. But, like, for me, that's his offensive skill. And if he doesn't nail it, then I just don't see him being super effective.
Okay.
And so I really worry about that with especially older guys who developed it later in their college career. Like, you like to see the progress. You like to see that they got there. But the form, the touch, still not super convincing to me.
Okay.
I don't know. I probably could put him like 3 or 2 even on this list and not be upset about it. But I just think the lack of upside for me made it a little bit, pushed him a little bit further down.
All right.
I mean, that's fair.
That's very fair.
You got to wonder if Io's arrival and Io's rookie year maybe has started to change how Bulls fans feel about drafting multi-year players from the Big Ten.
It's a great point.
Like, I don't think he would be on my list if not for Io.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Wow.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
That's probably a hot take. But
Will's like, he go anywhere from 2 to nothing.
and so the Bulls essentially stole Io 20 picks after where they currently have this number 18 pick.
Thank
this
you,
year.
NBA.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate
for all
you.
those teams that slept on Io.
Good looking out.
So you're
looking
kind of
out.
saying, okay, yeah, EJ Liddell, he's got these traits, he's got these skills, but for a pick at 18, that maybe he doesn't do anything at a elite level to use that number of a pick on a guy.
Okay.
he does block shots from the weak side at an elite level. And
does.
I think, again, that is exactly what the Bulls need next to Vooch. Will Vooch be around?
That's the question.
And-
That's the question right there.
And
there.
yeah, I mean, I think also it's just, I think it's just a little like irrational boredness on my part.
All right. Will
Okay.
likes the excitement, man.
All right, well, so who do you have at 3 ranked above him?
I could put him at 3.
No, you got him at
Hey,
4.
man.
It's
I'm
all right.
We already
I'm
got him
sticking
in the
with
box.
it.
Rolling
but
with it.
Don't
I'm
make
sticking
Joey
with it.
change which box you put him in.
That's right, man. Joey
Number
doesn't like
3,
boxes.
number 3, I'm going with a guy that I
You don't want to
included.
put in a box.
I included in my column from yesterday, which explored Blake Wesley and this guy from Arizona, Dalen Terry, who has been a really late riser on the draft boards because he's a very low usage guy, was kind of a glue guy with that Arizona team next to Mathurin and Koloko. So a little bit less usage, but he is really fun. He's long, he's rangy, he's 6'7". He defends at a super high level on and off the ball.
Pac-12 all defense his sophomore season.
Wow.
He's really exciting on the defensive end. Like, he's just jumping passing lanes. He's getting out there. He's getting in transition. And I think he's going to be sort of like a Mikal Bridges type of defender just in terms of body and like the way he looks physically.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be at that level because Mikal Bridges is an all NBA.
Yeah, I was
defensive
gonna say
player.
that's like the sexiest player comp to throw out right now is Mikal Bridges.
And that's what these comps are. It's like, who do I imagine this guy looks up to? Like,
Yeah.
who does he clearly watch tape of?
Yeah.
And I think for that, it's Mikal Bridges.
Dig.
Where he's a little bit different is the jump shot. That is a little bit shakier. He's going to need to do some work there. Definitely not ready to step in and shoot threes at a high level. But offensively, he's a really interesting facilitator and passer. And that's like my, soft spot. I love guys who are smart, who find cutters, who move the ball, doesn't stick with them, who can like make a decision. And, we talk about like the 0.5 situation where you either pass, dribble, or shoot in half a second after touching it. I think he does that at a super high level. I like the way he drives, I like the way he cuts off ball. And you can never have too many passers on a team that did get a little bit stagnant last year, right?
True.
So I think you can play him next to DeMar and Zach. He can guard up, he can guard down. I think he's going to be like a 3 or maybe 4 position defender. He's just kind of like one of those guys that is my type, and so I'm sticking with it.
All right.
He's a little bit older. I think he's 20 years old. I got to pull up my notes here, but
20.
he'll be 20 on draft night.
Grandpa
But
Simpson.
6'7", 7'1" wingspan, 50%. He did shoot 36% on threes on low volume and 73.5% from the line. So
Yeah,
it's
just
not like,
over 2 3-point attempts per game in second season.
it's not like the touch isn't there, but it's got to become a point of emphasis for him. And I think same with EJ Liddell. Like they're going to need to learn how to shoot.
Yeah.
But I trust Dale and Terry to be able to produce and provide more value on offense if the shot isn't falling. And the Bulls have spacing issues, so it's not perfect. And I do think it would be a little bit of a reach. So maybe this is a situation where they trade back with the Nuggets, who have 21 and 30. Maybe they trade back and pick this guy up. But he's just really exciting to me. And I think he's going to be a really solid role guy that provides value in a bunch of different spaces on the floor.
All right.
Okay, so at 2, is this where we see Tari Eason?
I don't know. I'm so excited.
What makes you think Tari Eason's on my board?
Well,
Just a hunch.
Just a educated guess.
You're
Given your reaction when I just told y'all I think he's going to get taken under 17.5.
Yeah, that's a good take.
It's a good giveaway.
No, number 2 for me is Jalen Williams, the
Who
guard.
we did a
the
deep
guard
dive
out of
on.
Santa Clara.
Yes.
I love this guy. He is just another one of these super smart playmakers. And the more I think about him, the more I can see him being like a great secondary option on a really good team where, let's say he's playing alongside Zach and DeMar. DeMar's going to work in the mid-range, and he kicks it out. Jalen Williams can now run a secondary pick and roll and make some incredible reads, get guys open layups. I mean, if Vooch is on the team, he's finding him for 3. If Gobert is, maybe there's like a dive lob situation. And then off the ball, like he comes off screens and hits threes.
Yes.
He can spot up and hit threes. And he's got a 7'2" wingspan. As we talked about, not the most athletic defender, but like will be a very good team defender. And I think his length will allow him to defend smaller guards and even guard up a little bit at the next level. So I think he's just an all-around great player. He was a junior this year and started to really dominate in his junior season. So that's a little bit of a concern, but to me, he's the most well-rounded player that's going to be available in the Bulls range. And I think teams are even starting to look at him in the late lottery. So I'd be thrilled if the Bulls could grab him at 18. One of my favorite players in this draft for sure.
I do love him. Do love him. Like, would not have any complaints. Guys that have that like 6'6", 6'7" frame with a 7'1" or 7'2" wingspan.
Yeah, man.
Woo! Make my heart tingle.
Yeah, man.
The IQ, the passing ability, the shooting ability, like these are the things that you need to compete at a really high level. Like you cannot have dumb players on the floor. You cannot have non-shooters on the floor.
Preach it.
So he fits right in with that. Like I said, not the most athletic, not going to be able to guard the Kawhis and LeBrons of the world. That's probably okay. Not many people can. So they'll have to do that as a team effort. But I think what he provides on and off the ball, and then what he can give you in transition, what he can give you as a team and help defender, I think he's going to be a really great player.
Yeah, I agree. I love him. I do.
Okay, so
right.
number
Drum roll, Joey.
on the GOAT's big board.
Number 1 is, I'm sticking with my guy Tari.
That was the educated guess. Had to be Tari.
Yeah. You went ahead of the drum roll.
Tari,
we'll take it.
Tari's just an animal, dude. He is just a wild man, and I love watching guys like that.
His physical tools are insane.
Outrageous. And I think there are some things that really need to go right for him.
Yeah.
Like he needs to slow down and like chill a little bit. But
Take
at
a
the
chill
same
pill.
time, that's kind of what makes him fun and special. But for a guy that is as active, aggressive, who can guard on and off the ball, who can like be the size defender that you need to stick in front of a Giannis. Who knows if he can actually slow him down, but
he could be in front of him though.
Shot 50, 36, 80 shooting splits this year, 17 points in like 20 minutes off the bench, 24 minutes.
Wow.
Just an absolute animal. And then obviously the analytics head in me loves the 4.5 steal rate and 6.2 block rate, which is just absolutely outrageous.
That's nasty.
Just like defensive player of the year caliber stuff. So he is going to be really, really good. Just absolutely come in and be probably one of your best defenders from day one. And then I think he's got some upside in terms of creation. Like I said, he's a little bit wild driving and can throw the ball off the backboard.
Also has no left. He can't drive left at all.
He's got some refinement for sure. But the fact that he shot his free throws at such a high level And on 5.7 attempts per game, like in 24 minutes, is
Yeah, that's
a lot.
outrageous.
That's legitimate.
I'm
You could draw a
really,
foul,
really tantalized by his upside. I think he can be kind of like what everybody hopes Patrick Williams can be in a certain sense, like that huge wing, super athletic, super versatile defender who can also create maybe a little bit offensively, spot up and hit threes. Like that's what we want Patrick to be, right?
You're right.
So obviously, I think Patrick is younger than him still, which is wild.
Which is wild. Yes.
Certainly, I mean, he's still not 21 until August.
Yeah.
So Patrick Williams.
I could be wrong about that.
It's
But
all right.
yeah, I just think Tari is exactly the kind of player that you want in today's NBA. And if he's there at 18, it's kind of a no-brainer.
All right. That's a
Tari
very-
Eason is 21. He
That's a
turned
solid
21
big
on May
boy.
10th.
Nice.
So he's like a few years older than P-Dub.
He can get in the club. Congratulations.
I don't hate that top five.
I don't
I
either.
don't hate that top five at all, other than
don't
the
hate
Notre
it.
Dame love and your abject disrespect of EJ Liddell.
There was no Notre Dame love in here, just to be sure. Okay, this was Blake Wesley love. Those are independent.
I don't know if I can separate those two things.
His hate doesn't work like that.
My hate brain is very
Yeah.
simple in the way that it
Very,
works.
Very simple, yes. See that? Hate that. That's it.
Anger meter is
It's always
rising.
there, man. Listen, always there.
All right, we got two more big boards to talk through, but before
Yes.
that, Big Dave,
Yes.
I want to tell the people how they can enjoy their lives a little bit better with
I
a little
sure
thing
can.
called Owen.
I sure can, Matthew. Owen is the name of it, and I need to tell you about it. Why? Because it's a 100% plant-based shake that gives you nutrition that works as hard as you do. And we know you're working hard. We hope you're not working too hard in this heat right here. We hope you stay in some air conditioning. But wherever you're doing it, you're working hard. So you need some Owen. It's free of artificial ingredients, y'all. Allergen-friendly. No gluten or dairy. And most importantly for the grown folks, it's easily digestible, all right? And you know who also drinks this? You know who gets down with Owen? QB1 Justin Fields. You see that throw Matt did? It was there, touchdown. That's what it happened, because that's what's going to happen all fall long, damn it. Justin Fields. And why? Because he's drinking Owen. I digress. Owen and CHGO have partnered to give you something really, truly awesome. 20% off your first purchase at liveowen.com and use that code CHGO20. I gave a friend of mine, I brought her some Owen. She said she needed some more protein. She doesn't eat meat, man. She needed some protein, so I brought her some of this. She absolutely loved it. She said, yes, this is awesome. I need more of this. She enjoyed the caramel. That's the one she was rocking with.
I need to
There
get
you
some
go.
of that.
Yeah, she rolled with it. She was down with it. So, yes, you get on down with that because, you know, he's got the athletic greens.
Athletic greens
now-
in the morning.
Yep.
Owen in the afternoon.
There it is. And then I'm going to get this dude on one of these things, and he will be even better than he already is. And you can do the same thing, y'all. 20% off your first purchase at liveowen.com. Use that code CHGO20 because Owen's a win.
He's a pro.
He's
He's a pro's
that.
pro.
I'm going to need that new graphic, Joey. I felt that. I'm going to need that new graphic, Joey.
We'll work on it.
Also, now that Will is like a world traveler,
Yes, he is.
I feel like he's capable of chipping in on these ad reads. What do you think, Dave?
Ooh.
We'll talk.
Ooh.
I think you got to start pulling your ad read weight,
It's
man.
all right. You know, he already does so much.
I know
though.
he does so much for
He
us.
does such a
Once
ton.
the draft is over, we can
You know what I'm
talk.
saying? We can have that
I
discussion.
got a lot of draft homework.
But I got
today.
your back, Thrill.
Let me
You know
read
what I
some
mean?
ads. Let me read some ads next
You
time.
want to read some ads, Joey?
I got a good
Nobody wants to hear me read. I
set
think
of
they wanna
eyes
hear
on me.
Joey read.
Got a good set of eyes on you? Is
Yeah,
that what
I
you
didn't know
said?
where to go with that one.
Well, your man said I got a good set of eyes on
Got a
you.
good reading, good pair of readers on me, you know?
Yeah, he's
good
40
pair
plus.
of readers.
He's 40 plus.
Isn't that what old people call reading glasses?
You feel what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Cheaters. They call them cheaters, right?
Peepers. He got a good
Peepers?
set of peepers on him. He's about to go to Del Boca Vista. He's on his way. He's a grown man, dog.
Also,
What's
really,
the name of
really
that
quick,
retirement community that Jerry
that's
Seinfeld's parents?
Del Boca Vista.
There you go.
That's
There
the
you
one.
go.
It's a retirement
really
community.
quick. When you mentioned Matt taking the athletic greens, I
Yeah.
did see this thing on social media. Like these, there's this like fad of people that believe that the animal lifestyle, not the plant-based lifestyle, animal-based, and these people are literally eating pounds of raw meat for every meal. And I was just like, I'm gonna send this to Peck. Like,
I don't think he eats raw meat.
well, we
No,
can
I
maybe
cook
get
it.
him in on it.
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
it depends
they
on the
love
kind of meat.
Matt the Liver King.
Steak?
Yeah, the Liver King, the Liver King.
Matt the Liver King.
The Liver King?
Goat Leave knows what I'm talking about. This
Okay.
Liver King. We'll
No,
talk.
don't
We'll
worry
talk
about
after the show.
Don't waste your time.
We'll talk after the show.
I need to know more.
I'm just saying
I
I
didn't have a
saw
phone.
boxes of meat in our fridge over there, and I got real excited for tomorrow.
He did get very excited, but they can see boxes being excited because they're going to eat it now. That's the difference. You're going to put it on a grill
Yeah.
and cook it up. They don't want to do that.
I do tend to cook my meat before I eat it.
He's crazy like
But
that.
again, it depends.
Yeah, it
Certain,
depends.
certain cuts of steak,
Blood?
just wave it over a fire and then give it to me.
Wow, really? Wow, that's all right.
Mooing and trying to
All
escape.
That is cruel. That is animal cruelty.
Oh my God.
Top of the food chain. Humans.
Let me get to my top 5, please, Joey. Let me get to my top 5. First of all, I also love everybody who throws out the word besmirch now. Everybody
man.
kind of uses that word now. They throw it out to me, and I
It's
always
going
see
to find
it.
its way into
Look, there it is right
into
there.
a
Look at that.
2022 baby
Thank you,
book.
Barton.
Yes, man.
Do not besmirch the great name of Tyrus Thomas.
Who said something about Tyrese Thomas?
I don't know.
I
Barton.
don't think he's come up at all.
Oh, I see it. I would love
Although
to take
there
Tari
are
Eason,
some,
but I'm scared.
I think
because
there's
Tyrese
some
Thomas.
player comps between him and Tari Eason right now
Yeah.
that have been floating around out
What was
there.
it, LSU? You know,
Yeah.
Will.
that was a mistake. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said it.
Don't take it back, Will.
I just mean like freak athleticism, running all around. That's all
we
I
got
meant.
you, and that's what Tari is. Tari does that. That
does
freak
that.
athleticism runs all around. He's that wild card, just like that.
He's a wild card.
He's a wild card, man.
Number 5, Dave.
Number 5. Now, okay, mine is much different from Will's.
Okay.
Because
I
Will's,
like that.
Will's, stupid intelligent. Okay, so
No, I'm just stupid.
He studies. No, you study. You get all that. I think more with my heart, as you know. You know what I'm saying? I think with my heart.
But we love
and
your
fan
heart.
stuff. And thank you. My heart loves all of y'all. So number 5, I just went with the guy because I'm like, if my top 4 isn't there, then take a swing. That's my philosophy on this.
Okay.
Just take a swing, see what happens. It's number 5. So at 5, I went Kai Soto.
Wow.
I did.
That's a huge reach.
That's a swing. It's a swing. Why not? It's set. Listen,
Because he'll be available as an undrafted free
I know,
agent.
I know. But I'm just saying. I'm just taking a swing. Like,
What about
just-
Kai
just
Soto is so exciting to you?
7'3" was
That
the
is
first
very
thing.
tall. That is
was
extremely tall.
First thing that got me watching him play. He does not move like a 7'3" normal.
He
dude.
doesn't.
Usually moves. He's got some fluidness, and Matt knows I love saying he's got some stank on him when he's doing his thing. All right, he's got some real funk on him
rolling down the
when
river.
he's doing his thing. No such thing. It's a weaker sex.
Shout out, Jim.
But I like the fact that he knows he's 7'3". Matt knows I love people who know that they're tall.
True.
But he's left-handed. That's what really got me. You're 7'3" and you're left-handed. You have an advantage already. All right. And I'm watching him shoot. I'm not saying he's the world's greatest shooter here, but I love the way he shoots the ball. I love his
He
stroke.
doesn't not shoot. And I
Yeah,
think that's
I
like
love
a
his stroke.
that's a real thing for bigs, especially.
Yes, correct. And he'll hit you with the jab step, pop it on you. You know what I mean? He'll hit you in the post with it, and he's ambidextrous in the post as well. He'll shoot that hook with the right or the left hand, and it looks pretty either way. And I really like that. And the athleticism. He actually will go up and dunk that backwards on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's incredible to watch him play. It really is. He's got some real funk on him, man. Like, of course, it's a reach, and Will's right. He probably will be there undrafted. Teams won't take a shot at him. But I just like him. When I watched him, I looked at him. I just like this game, man. I was like, you know what? I can
And
see this dude in the
he's
NBA.
playing in the NBL. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
a fake league. Like
No,
he's
no,
playing
no.
real basketball. So
No.
I do think he has been sort of written off,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I should do some more homework on him. But that's definitely
It's a reach, baby.
a surprise
Take
to
a
see
swing.
him at number 5 for
Yeah,
you.
take a swing, man. Take a
I
swing.
like it. I would expect nothing less.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
True to
that.
Dave's form.
All right.
Number 4.
Number 4, and this is when Will not like me anymore, because I put Tari Eason at number 4. That's why I got that man, Tari Eason. Now, look, everything Will said is correct about Tari Eason. He is absolutely right. You get him on your team, and the first thing that improves is your defense. Like, that's what gets me excited when I think about him, is the defense he can bring, especially to that second unit that he can bring out there. You're locking down everybody. The block shots going to be just exciting. What excites me the most when I think of him is the block shot leading to the fast break. That's what I think about. You know what I mean? Him getting that and then him running, because that dude glides, you know what I'm saying, when he runs. And that's exciting to me. What's not exciting, what scares me is his offense. It scares me. He's not a confident three-point shooter yet. He's definitely hesitant when he takes those shots, and I don't like that. Even if you miss it, I'd like you to do it confidently. You know what I mean? But he'll pull up and he's not sure of himself, and I don't like that. He does not go left. He can't go left at all. And for me, that cuts off 50% of your game. And so you're playing basically one-handed. Now, again, these are things he can learn. He's young. He can get these things. He can learn them. But coming in right now, you're thinking about guys ready to contribute when you're picking later in the draft. And that's what I'm thinking on that level. Because Tari Eason can be incredibly and dope because he's got those skill set. And like Will said, he's a freak athlete and all those things. But it's those things that throw me off. The not having the confidence in his shot, the not having the left hand. And I'm not completely sold on his IQ. Not completely sold. On the offensive end. Defensive end, yes, I'm sold on anything he wants to do over there. Offensively, not sold on him.
And it should be pointed out that is the reason that he is falling on some people's draft boards, is that there seems to be a consensus of a concern about his basketball IQ.
Yeah.
And that might cause him to maybe be a late teens or 20s pick instead of a lottery pick.
Yeah, he might still be there, but he's good. I'm not saying it like he ain't. The dude is good.
And the other thing that consensus people are concerned about is the shot.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
The form is a little wonky.
Yeah.
By a little wonky, I'm putting that kindly.
This is a Noah fan saying
I'll just say, I think those are totally real concerns. And whatever team drafts him, they're going to have to work that out. These are not, made-up problems.
No.
The defensive stuff is awesome, and he's very much a tools guy.
Yes.
And you want to, refine the tools.
Yeah.
And so for me, I like the tools, and I want to try to mold it.
Yeah.
As opposed to, a guy who's super unathletic but maybe does one thing. So
Facts.
I think, it's a difference of opinion in terms of, what you're looking for. But regardless, Tari has a lot of work to do to be a contributor at a high level in a rotation of an NBA playoff team. So I'm totally with you there.
And he's on the board. I think people need to understand that.
And that's the other thing is this is a shared top 5. It's not where you've got him 37th on your big board.
Right. Not too sure about him.
We're all. I mean, this is splitting hairs because that's what you do when you're drafting 18th.
That's what you do. You split them, baby. That's how I roll.
All right, number 3, Dave.
Number 3, and this is a if. Mark Williams. Now, that's an if.
Right.
All right? And the only reason he's at number 3 and not number 1 is because he's an if. Because I'm not sure he's going to be there.
I thought about having him at 5 on my board as an if.
Dude. But if he's there, because I put him at 3 because it is a possibility. It's not out of the realm of possibility that he's not there. That's the reason I had him at 3.
But so the question then is, for me, if he's there means he should be at the top of the list.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If he's there, he's number 1 for me. Everybody else that I'm going to put 2 and 1, he's over all of them. You know what I'm saying? I want that dude right there because he possesses all the qualities I love while being 7 feet tall. You know what I'm saying? Wow.
7'2".
7'2". Oh, yes, he's a center like that. And he can shoot that basketball with some confidence. He takes that shot, blocking it with either hand, can step out on guards and defend them because his reach is absolutely like an X-Man. It's ridiculously long. It's dumb. And just the way he moves his feet, you know what I'm saying? It's a little more fluid with it, you know what I'm saying, than you would see a guy his size. It's really scary, the athleticism that he has for how tall he is. And I think, man, if he's there, yes, you take him immediately. You don't even hesitate. You take Mark Williams.
I mean, we did a deep dive on Mark Williams thinking that there's a good chance he's gone off the board before 18, but just in case. And, you talked about everything he does really well. I think maybe the one question mark on him is limited at the NBA level as a big man who there's still to me a question about him spacing the floor as a shooter, and he also isn't exactly a gifted passer as a big man. So you want your big man in today's NBA to be able to do one of those things.
True. I completely feel you on that. You're right.
Man, does he roll the rim well.
Man, does he roll with force. You know what I'm saying? He finishes with force. And I ain't even mentioned the block shots. The just violent block shots he has. You know what I mean? That's the one thing about the guys we're mentioning, too, when we talk about their shot blocking. But I like it. They're all violent shot blockers. You know what I'm saying?
Tari, Mark Williams, these guys are
violent. You know what I'm saying? They send your stuff other way. And I love that. But, Mark Williams at 3.
And some people see it as a possibility that he does fall. I believe our guy, Ricky O'Donnell of SB Nation, who's going to join us for our live draft show, kicking things off. I think he has Mark Williams at somewhere around 19, 20, 21.
Wow.
there are some who don't think that Mark Williams is as good as being a lottery pick.
Yeah. It's true. That's why it's a draft, baby.
Could
That's
fall.
a big boy. Could
All
fall.
right, number 2.
Number 2.
Jalen?
Jalen Williams.
Ah,
Rolling with my main man, GOAT, baby. Jalen Williams. I am in on him. He got put on my radar by Will. When I watched him and I saw him, I was like, what? I was like, yes, all of it. The man's shooting splits are what always get me. You know what I mean? The high percentage from the field, the high percentage from 3, and the high percentage from the free throw line.
High IQ.
And the high IQ. You know I love the high IQ. He's got that, man. I love him on offense. He has an NBA game to me already. And I mentioned that to you, Will, when we were discussing this. Like, even the shots that they said are his flaws and the things like that. I'm like, those are NBA shots, though. You know what I'm saying? Those are the shots you want your star to take. He just wasn't going in. You know, I wasn't like, oh, he dribbled wrong, or oh, he took a wrong step, or oh, it looked like a travel. No, he knew exactly what to do, and he made that decision quickly. The shot just didn't fall. It wasn't like he was pulling up from half court and taking that shot. No, I like him a lot. I think whatever team he goes to, he's going to contribute immediately. And you're right what you said about him with that second unit. You know what I'm saying? Bringing in another guy who can create his own shot with that. And you know this team is devoid of shot creators outside of DeMar and Zach to an extent. But, man, they need more shot creators, man. And I think he fits that mold perfectly 100%. For the Bulls. Perfectly.
Well said.
I love that. And number 1?
I mean, come on now.
EJ?
E to the J, La Dizzle for shizzle. My main man, EJ Liddell.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. Y'all, you know what? I think if he was like, the Bulls had the 23rd pick or something, he would be like 1 through 5 for me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I feel that exact same way.
He would be that one for me, man. But my God, like he just possesses all the things I really love. But to keep it short, yeah, just the high IQ, the length, the block shots, the athleticism, the way he runs the floor, the way he tracks the basketball and tracks the ball handler. I truly enjoy it. He definitely has work to do as far as ball handling himself. If that's going to be a part of his game, but he just might be a pick and pop guy, turned himself into a 3-point shooter. The thing that got me, Will, that didn't give me pause about him turning himself into one so late was, again, Ayo. I think that's what I kind of lay all that on. And Kendall Gill loves guys who are older coming out of college because, you know, he's from that era when guys were older and coming out of college. He's like, he feels you know the game a little bit more.
Right.
And you can study it a little bit better. And so you're ready to contribute immediately when you walk in the door. And Ayo is probably the best prime example of that happening. But, man, I love his attitude. The dude, like he said, I'm first team all sweat. That's what he said, bro. Like, he wants to get out there and work, period, point blank. You know I love that. Bulls need that. You know what I'm saying? So I think he fits the bill for the Bulls.
I like that. I like that top 5.
Thank you.
All right, I'll work through mine as quickly as we
He
can.
finally got it. All right, thanks, Joey. Better late than never.
So you had the drum roll, but not the cymbal clash at the end of the drum
Hey,
roll?
just be happy with what we got. All right, we got to
Come
work hard to
on.
get that. Joey's working hard. Did he not make you a cool
We got
graphic?
Burke Brothers.
Yeah, I was about to say he got you the Burke Brothers graphic, man. You got to take what you can give. Don't give him everything.
Yeah, no, that was one of the most elite things I've ever seen happen in real time. All right, so I do have a couple of names that you guys don't have on my list.
Yeah.
So number 5, I got Christian Braun of the champion
Nice.
Kansas Jayhawks.
Shout out.
Now, maybe a little bit of a reach at 18, but I do think that there's value. And I think that he could make a great fit to this Bulls roster right now, and that he can come in and contribute as a guy who played 3 years at Kansas and can knock down shots off the ball, which is something that this Bulls team desperately needs. He's not great creating his own shots off the dribble. That's okay. We got DeMar. We got Zach.
We do.
He's also crazy sneaky athletic
Yeah.
for a guy who looks like he does. Like
Yeah.
he's got some of those sneaky Caruso hops. He loves getting out in transition. He finishes well. He can finish through contact. Like, he's tougher than he looks. And he can just knock down shots, corner threes in particular. He's lethal. Give me that.
So maybe you answer this question later, but he seems like he'd be similar. Maybe this is stereotypical, but he seems like a similar prospect to Jake LaRavia. So why Braun over LaRavia?
The
For
championship?
some reason,
You were unimpressed by him.
I was, but I feel like Christian is a better shooter. Like, there's just something about his shot that I like more than Jake LaRavia's.
Definitely, I think more explosive too in the transition game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so LaRavia, I feel like, has him when it comes to like length. Obviously, one of Christian Braun's weaknesses is that his wingspan is like a toddler's. Like, so he's 6'6", and I think his wingspan's listed as 6'7". So there's nothing there.
Oh man.
It's got the Kobe.
But to me, he has more athleticism than Jake LaRavia.
Okay.
And I like his shot better.
Okay, all right. And a championship. Probably
And
helps, too.
championship pedigree.
Yeah.
I never hate that. Never hate having that on my team. And despite the fact that he doesn't have a lot of length, as I just mentioned, do think he has some potential on the defensive end at the NBA level. He's tough. Can't guard every position, but
nobody really can.
Nobody really can. So, yeah, and again, he's my 5 as just a guy who could come in and give the Bulls something that they desperately need.
Yeah.
Number 4,
all right,
another guy that you guys did not mention.
Ooh.
And that's Marjan Beauchamp of the G League Ignite. So we've talked about his G League Ignite teammate, Hardy, in one of our deep dives.
Yes, sir.
Who's a guy who some people see going lottery, but a guy who was once thought of as a top 3 pick and then has been falling steadily based on his shooting splits in the G League. Beauchamp, I don't know if you guys have done a deep dive on him. I just have done it in the last week or so. Fascinating story. Played his 4 years of high school ball at 4 different high schools, moving around. Followed Brandon Roy, his coach, from one school to another his freshman to sophomore year. Continued to impress. Then, like, by his junior year in high school, he was pouring in, like, 30-plus points a game.
Damn.
And then, so this is a guy who was the 40th overall ranked for high school recruits. And then opted to go the training camp route instead of the college route.
Right.
Some professional trainer that he decided to work with. And then COVID happened. So COVID happens, so he goes and just once COVID college pause on competing is lifted, he goes and just plays at his random little community college in the Pacific Northwest. He's from outside of Seattle.
Okay.
So he goes and plays 1 year at JUCO. And people just kind of forget about him.
Of course.
Then he comes in and plays for the G League Ignite this past season, and everybody's like, oh, my God, who is this kid? And it's like, oh, well, he was at one point in time the 40th overall high school recruit ranked by ESPN.
Wow.
And just had a weird transition from high school into now the NBA draft.
Shout out to him, man. Hey, way to never give up on that, bro. I like
There is
that.
a question mark on his shot.
Okay.
It needs work. Everything else about this dude I love. The way he plays up and down the floor in transition for both ends, offensively and defensively. His motor is unrelenting, and he's got the physical tools and the motor to play multiple positions defensively. There's just a lot that I like about this dude, and he's not being talked about all that much in this draft class.
I think we're learning the Peck type again right now. Because, again,
all have a
another
type.
guy with a high motor, you know what I'm saying, that get out there and get those floor burns.
Yes.
That's what Matt's all about. So, yeah.
And he's a real athlete. Like he is he's a basketball player.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. The shooting scares me, but I mean he's also a little bit older, but played for the Ignite. Like he's already got real NBA reps.
How old is he?
He is going to be 21 on draft night.
Okay.
Just under 21.
Just under 21.
So yeah, I think he's gonna be a really solid positional defender. He's got the jump shot issue as a lot of these guys do.
That's true. It's very true.
I love this comment from the real Beanzarelli. If the
Really
Bulls
not
listened
so really
to
bad.
any potential picks that you guys have named, the GM wouldn't have a job much longer. Cool, man.
Well, who you got?
Yeah, who's your list?
Oh, I see you got Jovic and Kessler. All right.
Right, and Patrick Baldwin, who's literally, 5 years ago, that probably would have been the Bulls pick.
People are talking about now as one of the most likely busts of this draft class.
Great job.
And
Duran, though, I mean, if he's there, hell yeah.
Do like Duran a lot.
look,
Do
we
like Duran
talked,
a lot.
we did deep dives on Kessler and Jovic.
We
and
did.
collectively, I think, decided that these guys are not picks at 18.
No, I mean, we had Luke Cornett before. So
No, I'm
cool.
sure if the Bulls took Tari Eason, who's projected to go in the top 15, then the GM would be fired if
Yeah.
they took him at 18. Yep, makes a lot of sense.
Is Tari still there? Yeah. Is Liddell still there? Yeah. Who we taking? Kessler. You get out my office.
Patrick Baldwin Jr.
Patrick
All right.
Baldwin Jr. to me has 29-year-old Otto Porter
Oh, you
Just
mean
like-
world champion?
Yeah,
Otto
just-
Porter.
I'm not. That's not a. He had like the injury thing. We don't need to talk about him very much, but
No, we don't.
He was like very injured with the Bulls, and he had a great season with the Warriors, and he just hits threes at a super high rate. I think that's going to be Patrick Baldwin.
All right, he could be a champion. There you go.
And so now my top 3, I do have overlapped with you guys in slightly different order.
Okay.
I got Jalen Williams 3. I got Tari 2.
Oh,
And I honestly didn't want to put Tari that high because I am concerned about some of the things that we've discussed with him. But the freakishness of this guy is so hard to turn away from. Because he could, if he puts it all together, be a absolute weapon at the NBA level.
oh,
Like, get yourself a left hand,
yes.
get yourself a shot doctor,
Problem.
and make yourself that good.
Yeah.
So I got Tari at 2, Joey. I got Jalen at 3.
Jalen Williams, man, love him. And also, I want Tari Eason to become something, so I can just start calling him Atari.
Yeah.
I
I mean, like,
that'll be my nickname for him. You know what an Atari is, Joey?
did LSU fans call him
Okay,
that?
just checking.
Although I guess like student fans at LSU right now would probably be like, "What the hell is Atari?"
Yeah, what's an Atari? You know what I mean? What is that? You know, it's who he is.
I've heard of one of those things.
You've heard
Yeah.
of one? Oh yeah. There were things that happens.
It's a video game system.
Yeah, it happened.
And like my guy Big Dave, I got EJ at 1.
Come on, man.
Look, and again, some of this is meatheadedness. Some of it is I truly believe in the skills he has on offense and defense. But I have fallen in love with this guy's story. And anytime I listen to him do an interview, I'm blown away by how mature he sounds.
Yes.
And how intelligent he sounds.
Yes.
He seems like somebody who's been playing in the NBA for a decade.
Fact.
But he's just coming in as a 3-year college player.
Yeah.
And, great story. From Belleville, Illinois.
Yeah.
Just a few metro stops west of here, guys.
That way.
I mean, how great would it be?
It would be awesome, man.
How great would it be?
I just want to say, like, in terms of what the big board is, in my opinion, like what I've done with mine is like I'd be really pumped about any of these options.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
this
cool with
is-
anybody on anybody's sport.
This
To be honest
is
with you.
this is just like slotting guys around based on like
Yeah. This is about our likes and what we think. and
yeah,
what
exactly.
We feel, who we
Our
dig.
preferences in terms of players. So
But
if
then-
they take EJ,
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
on board
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
If Mark Williams falls, sure,
Fine,
why
yes.
not? You know, like he's in that top lottery area for a reason because he's
Yeah.
that good of a player. So, okay, this is just like personal preference for me.
Yes,
but
correct.
I really like all these players, and I think the Bulls actually have a lot of good options in this area at 18. They want to trade back. I think they've got a lot of good options there, like Dalen Terry. Or Beaucamp or Christian Braun. I think those guys could be available a little bit closer to 30. So, ton of options here, and I think that's a good spot to be in as a GM
Right.
and as a front office.
So again, to just kind of go over how we approach this, guys who we think could be there at 18. Some of these guys between our collective top 5 lists are probably off the board
Yeah.
on Thursday night
Yeah.
when we get to 18.
Correct.
Some of them will be there.
Yeah.
And that's the pool that we chose from.
Correct. Exactly how it went. Joey, is there a preference to you? Not as far as which list you like, but a player. You know what I'm saying? Did you have a 5 or a 3 in your head that you were thinking of?
I like Tari Eason. Size, athleticism. I think he could develop into a nice offensive player. Jalen Williams, I think any team could use a player like that.
Yeah.
I like Liddell too. I don't think Mark Williams will be there, but I like that player also. I think these are all good choices.
What about Pete? My man Beansarelli talking about PBJ here, man. You're not high on my man PBJ?
He was a good high school prospect. He's a talented player, but to suggest that we are dumb idiots who will be fired from the GM job because that's just not what the stock is on his draft right now. It's not. I don't think that anyone around the league sees him like that right now.
yeah, he's late first, early second.
I think he's
right
going to
now.
Okay.
fall. And look, some Bulls fans were mad that they didn't take a swing on Michael Porter Jr.
This is true.
At whatever it was, at 7, right?
Yeah.
When we went with Wendell instead.
Yeah.
And then lots of other teams also passed on Michael Porter Jr. And the reason was there. And it
Bacchiotomy.
was, doctor said I need a bacchiotomy. And where was Michael Porter Jr. this season? For a large part of it?
Get in the backyard.
Having a bacchiotomy.
If
So-
you want to criticize the Bulls for missing in that year, criticize them for not taking Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Ooh,
that's the one.
Because that
That's
dude is
the
that dude.
one.
That is.
All right, well, so that was fun.
It was fun.
We
Who's
are
here?
2 days away from the NBA draft, so we're off tomorrow. No show tomorrow because we're going to hang out in Lot B at Comiskey. The Cell. Guaranteed rate. Call what you want. Lot B will be there tailgating with all of our various meats that are in the fridge right now.
Yes.
Come hang out with us.
Come on through.
Then, after that breath, Thursday, we're here for you guys. Yes. Starting from a half hour before the draft starts, we will be here in studio live from that point through to 30th pick being taken off the board.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
We're going to have some guests popping in,
Yes, we will.
joining us on our remote stream.
Yes, we will.
Some
As
really
I
fun ones.
Some really fun ones. Ricky O'Donnell's going to pop in. Our pal John Sabine's going to pop in
Yes,
for a
he will.
while. And then we're going to have a couple of draft experts come on and offer us their thoughts on what the Bulls did on draft night after it happens. And again, we just talked about a billion different options of
Yes.
what they might do at 18. The other big one, as we talked about at the opening of the show, was they might make some huge, massive trade.
Yep.
Package the 18th pick, Patrick, Kobe, Vooch, and we could be talking about Rudy Gobert, newest Chicago Bull on draft night. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm ready for
either
all
way,
of it.
we'll be here.
Will the CHGO crew? Luke, will y'all be here? You going to be here Thursday? Thursday night?
No, we're remote.
Y'all are remote? You and Ryan remote?
I'll be watching to see what the Bulls pick, though.
All right, Ryan will be watching.
I'll be here in spirit.
That's all that matters.
That's all we need.
That's all we need, Stucky. This is going to be here in spirit, baby. Sean, you going to be here Thursday night? Thursday night.
Draft
Yes.
night,
Oh!
hanging out.
That's what we love to hear.
Sean's coming on the show then.
There you
Sean
go.
be on the show. Bam.
There you go.
Done.
We need to get Joey on camera as well.
Yeah,
I'm
we-
gonna make. I hope
can't
I make
wait.
my debut on Thursday. It's
Also,
gonna be a
his
long.
I feel like we should do something related to, like, if we get a bunch of super chats, if we hit a certain number, you know, like we did with my mustache shave.
Yes, we did.
Just make Dave eat a brat. I want to watch
I'll eat a
Dave
vegan
eat
brat.
a brat. Not that. Whatever we
Okay,
got
what
left
about
over from
what?
the tailgate.
What will you eat, Matt?
I've
Great
already
question.
done my part. I drank the athletic greens. I shaved my face.
I forgot
He is
about the
doing a lot.
athletic greens. That's true. It's true.
That's true. He is doing a lot.
It's
That's
goat. Maybe it's goat's time.
We got Kyle Korver.
Yeah, 6,000, he gonna be Kyle Korver.
6,000 followers.
And I still have a punishment coming when we get to
He
4,000
does.
Twitter followers because of that stupid poll Dave ran. Oh, what do you want?
What an
Big Dave in the
amazing
Discord
evil
chat or
laugh.
Matt
Yes.
making Matt eat
You
vegetables?
should have
Right.
saw the followers just go way up as soon as I put that poll out.
He screwed you over. There's
hate-
no way that Big Dave in the Discord was getting more. No offense to
I'm
Big
shocked.
Dave.
It was rigged.
No
I'm
offense to
shocked.
Big Dave, but I
I
just
said a
think
whole week.
I think that the people gravitate towards Matt punishing himself in
That's
one
true.
way or another.
I'm not punishing myself. I'm being punished by people who supposedly love and care about me.
Oh yeah, trust me. What I give you, I'm not gonna put you out there like that. I promise you, you're gonna like it. But no, I will eat. I will eat some. I won't eat no pork. I'll do that. No swine. No swine.
All right, we'll continue to brainstorm what the exact
Give me some
challenge is going to
beef.
be.
I'll
do
do
it.
beef. I'll do beef.
Until Thursday, again, off tomorrow. You can follow us on Twitter, Bulls_Peck, Bow, BWL Sports, Won't Gottlieb.
What it do?
Joey, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for producing it always. He's on Twitter at Joey Spathis.
here.
We are CHGO_Bulls.
In the flesh.
Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Have a great Wednesday. See you at Lot B tomorrow.
Lot
See you
B.
Thursday for our
NBA
live draft
draft.
show.
Yeah.
NBA
It's
draft.
coming.